transfers because we have 16 days to go until the transfer window finally shuts in September, on the 1st of September. 7 p.m, by the way, it shuts on this occasion, not at 11 p.m. Yesterday, Eddie Howe, you'd have heard him probably in his press conference, saying that the prospect of Alexander Isak still being at Newcastle United come the end of the transfer window very much out of his hand. Is there any way you can see Isak come the end of this transfer window still being a Newcastle player?
Yeah, it's possible. I don't see it. I'm with the guys. I think that it's inevitable that he will leave and his destination will be Liverpool Football Club. I think his head's been turned. I'm not sure Liverpool would take it so far down the line and make the boy burn the bridges what he's burnt. He's burnt all bridges now at Newcastle. I think even if he turns up, of course everyone wants to see him in a Newcastle shirt, even the neutrals, because we all believe that if he ends up going with Guy, who I'm sure we're going to get onto, to Liverpool, then it's going to be very difficult for anyone else to be competitive towards Liverpool. But from Newcastle's point of view, it's very disappointing. I really can't believe that he has come out and said he'll never play for Newcastle again. I don't believe that.
You'd want to see him actually saying it rather than just relying on reports.
He needs to come out and say he didn't say it because he's not looking good. Yeah. You know, it's not looking good for him, and I think he needs to come out and tell the world. It suits every other party apart from him. So let's get it right. Eddie Howe is not in the dark here. You know, you're talking about he knows what's happening. Eddie will know if the boy's going to leave or if he's not. It's a case of when they can get Wissa over the line, then they need to let Isak go. I read a lot of articles about people saying someone needs to make a stand. Why don't Newcastle make a stand? Well, Newcastle will be saying, why don't Liverpool make a stand, or Arsenal or Chelsea? Because it happens all the time. Every transfer window, this happens. Some player looks like they're holding the club to ransom. Now, for me, if I'm Newcastle, they struggle. They're one of the richest owners in the world. They can't spend any money. So they need Isak to go out the door to give them some headroom so they can spend the money on trying to find a replacement. They're not going to find a like-for-like replacement of the quality of Alexander Isak, but what they're going to have to do is try and find other solutions around the pitch. So for the amount, I'm sure Liverpool need to stump up the money. If they've told the boy to burn the bridges, they need to pull up 150 million. I think that is the number what Newcastle are holding out for, I really do.
And Bert, coming on to Johan Wissa, who we just mentioned, 19 Premier League goals last season. He left their training camp early. Keith Andrews confirming yesterday that he won't be in the squad to face Nottingham Forest in their Premier League opener tomorrow. Already a big headache for Keith Andrews at the start of the season, but I guess he would have expected that holding on to Wissa, they've always lost in Burmo as well, is going to be very, very tough. But in terms of how he fits in at Newcastle, they need a striker. So from that point of view, he fits in well. But in terms of the pressure that comes with Newcastle in Champions League football, is he the right fit for you?
Only time will tell. I thought he had an unbelievable season last season, a good season last season. You know, he's not had 3 or 4 or 5 good seasons, and you're going to be paying a lot of money for someone who's just turned it on this year, and he's had his year, and he's done well, and them two worked as a pair with him. So them two very good together. What they're going to like when they're not together, they're all the things. You know, no disrespect, Brentford get beat by Bournemouth and they still clap everybody around the pitch. That don't happen at Newcastle, and it won't happen at Man United with the other lad. Only time will tell, but they have to get someone in before they can ask. Because if they don't, Newcastle are not going to be competitive this season, I'm afraid, if they lose Isak and they have to rely on Gordon.